Blessings and greetings, my angels. I hope all is well with you. Happy Friday. I hope you have great plans for the weekend. And if you have spare time, guess what? There's a whole lot of content that you get caught up on. Isn't that wonderful? And I'll also have your weekend reading. I'm blessing you now with your October singles reading. Look forward to a karmic energy reading that is in the middle of being processed right now, so that will also be posted today. So you'll have these two videos, and then I'll be finishing up for the first half of the October energies, messages from our ancestors, as well as a love vibe message. And I think that's pretty much right it now for the beginning of the month energies. And then at the end of next week we'll start, or the week after, we'll start with the mid-month, or we'll end up with the wrap-up messages for the end. Let me know in the comments if you prefer the end of the month wrap-up or the mid-month updates. Cards of blessing prayed for. Thank you for joining me. This is Sacred Sagittarius, Angels Answers All, bringing you these general messages for the Sagittarius community. If this is your first time, don't let it be the last. Hit the subscribe, share, and like button. If you're already a subscriber and you haven't been here in a while, it will do you best to hit unsubscribe and resubscribe, because sometimes there's a disconnect and you won't get notifications. Always hit the all notifications. Or if you need to look for me manually, like I said, for those of you who have these smart friendly TVs now, all you have to do is pick up your remote and just say, take me to Sacred Sagittarius Angels Answers All channel on YouTube, and it'll take you right there. Just as easy as that. Okay, so what is the messages for my singles? This is for singles. That means you're not separated. You're not in a relationship. You're not all booed up. You are single. You are by yourself. Either you're just newly single, or by choice you've been single for a while. These are general messages, especially when it comes to love. So do know that other people's energies, in addition to your own, or those who interact in your love life, can factor in this reading. Take what pertains to you, what you feel may resonate with you. Remember, time is fluid, so we could be talking about past, present, and even future timing. So what do we have here? Well, we got the Death card in the reverse. I did turn the deck over just to make sure that I wasn't holding the cards upside down, but I do see I do have some reversals towards the end of the deck, so we're going to keep it. Followed by the Ace of Rods, the Page of Cups, and the Five of Wands. So, conflict. Well, you could be having personal conflict. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're experiencing conflict in love. It could be that you're going through some things right now. And when we're going through things, most Saggies like to do it by themselves. We're very independent. We're very strong-minded and strong-headed in that sense. We don't necessarily like to let everyone know what's going on with us. And we don't need a pity party. We're not one of those type of Sagi type of signs. We pretty much like to go through our pain and suffering on our own and figure it out. So you could be going through some inner conflict, or just other conflicts within your life, career, family wise, where that's causing a delay with you trying to make a love connection at this time. It's putting love on a back burner. The conflict could also be for some of you that you've just gotten out of a relationship where it was a lot of strife, there was a lot of discord, there was a lot of conflict, a lot of not meeting the minds. It was tough. And when you've had a very tough, volatile relationship, the last thing you want to do is to get into a new relationship right away. So whatever the struggle is, or wherever direction the conflict is coming from, anytime there's conflict in your immediate radar, okay, or your present circumstance, it's not the healthiest environment to engage in a relationship, or to start a relationship, or even think about dating, because you got too much on your plate. Your mind is everywhere, and you're just trying to put out this particular fire, or get through this particular issue that you're dealing with. So love takes a back burner, and that's okay. It's okay to get your mental and your spiritual in tune, and to take care of whatever other avenues of your life, that you need to deal with. And I wish more people took time to do that, because they put all their eggs in one basket. They put all their energies and time just focusing on their love life, that the foundation of what they need to sustain their love life is falling all around them. So getting your finances, getting your family, your career, and your health, and all these other things that make you who you are and make your foundation pure and strong, it's important to take time to take care of them so that when you are in a relationship, they can add and they will sustain your relationship rather than your relationship falling apart because it wasn't built on a strong foundation. So, like I said, it's don't be scared and don't feel like, oh, I'm never going to be able to find love, or love is never going to find its way to me because every time I turn around, because again, these could not even be your conflicts. These could be conflicts from your children, conflicts or issues you're dealing with your parents. It can be outside factors. And that's where you, Sag, need to step up and set the boundaries and let people know, there's only so much you can do and there's only so much of your time that you can offer. You have a life of your own to live. But conflicts, again, happen in life, but it does impact many of our relationships in a different way. And sometimes when you're in a new relationship or you're trying to start out dating, it might scare a potential partner, right? Your potential partner might not be as strong or might not be as understanding. It might be too much for them to embrace at the start of a relationship, especially if they're coming from a toxic relationship or a lot on their plate and they're looking for a partner and a love where it's going to be like, this is such a refresher. It's such a break from what I've been going through, right? So we all want a clean break and we all want to start off on a clean slate, no drama, no headaches, and pretty much things are never going to be perfect in all of our lives, but at least it's manageable and there's nothing going on so in depth that it's going to affect your love life. So, of course, yes, after conflict, the death card would follow, as it should, because you want to put, again, anything that could cause havoc, delays or disturbance to your love life, especially as you're trying to build one in the early stages, you want to get rid of it. Whether it's the nosy neighbor, your sister who's always in your business, your ex-in-laws who still treat you like you're their daughter-in-law and son-in-law, or your kids that won't let you come up with space, whatever it is, the job that doesn't give you enough time to have a social life. You want to get all those things taken care of. Again, you don't want to start talking to someone and start dating and then they kind of feel like you're difficult to connect to, you're unreachable, or your time isn't yours, that you have too much going on, that, you know what I mean? Because if you seem to be too busy or too engaged in other people's lives, that is going to make your partner think, well, if you're so busy helping this one and doing that one and working all these hours and planning this event and, your hand is in so many pots, when and where do you find the time to spend with a partner and to work, on a healthy, long-lasting relationship? So getting that out all the way is definitely the sign for you to do. And if you're not doing it, this is a strong indication in these cards, in these messages, that is something you should do first before you start dating again or looking for love. Definitely look for love because your opportunity is there. The beginning of the connection, the beginning of people that you need to meet or should meet is on the horizon. Some of these people might be not necessarily your cup of tea, but you know what? It gets your feet wet. Every date you go on, you practice your conversation, you practice your mannerisms, you practice just being comfortable on dating, right? Because if you haven't dated in a while and as the time changes and the way how people date, right, and the amount of time that they spend dating changes, you want to feel comfortable, right? You want to feel like a natural at this. You don't want to be a pro, but you do want to feel like you're within your own skin and you're not uncomfortable. You're easy to get along with. You have no problem dating. You're not like a high diva or a person who has like high demands, you know, start thinking about the places that you want to go out on dates. If you like certain cuisines, start making up a little, you know, a little book or something on your phone. Find a folder and create an electronic folder of this movies you want to see, plays you want to see. Kind of have these things already researched so that if your partner says, honey or babe, whatever you want to do is fine with me, you already have, you know, an inclination of what you want to do. So it would be nice if your partner could suggest where to go in the first date and your other dates, hopefully after that. But it's also good that you put in some input and you both get to share and experience the things that you both like. Also, with the Ace of Wands energy, we're talking about some of you, as new romance start, simultaneously, you might be starting a new job or a new project. So again, balance your time out so that you can still manifest what you need to manifest for your life overall, but give that same amount of energy, especially when you're starting out in a new relationship with someone that doesn't know you. They're going to want to spend time with you. They're going to want to get to know you. They're going to want to meet your family or just be around your environment to see if you are even a, you know, a match, so to speak. With the Page of Cups, there could be someone younger than you who has an interest in you, or they talk to you about romance, and that could be because Sagittarius, we're very passionate and we have a lot of dreamy ideas when it comes to love, and we're very youthful in our energy. This can even be the indication that some of you who are single might be pregnant and you might not know you're pregnant. So if you haven't been feeling well, you've been putting on weight, losing weight, you know, things seem off with you and you were in an active relationship that you just left, make sure that there's not a little one on the way. And if it's not that there's a little one on the way for you, some of you in your next relationship could be thinking about, this is the one that you want to have children with. This is the one that you want to potentially settle down with. This is the one that also, I'm feeling this person could, you know, for some of you who are single, I know you're not going to like what I'm going to say, but hey, it's the reality. Some of you might meet someone who is also just out of a relationship, but they just recently had a child with this person. And I know that can be kind of a turn off, but you got to, if you really like the person and their energy, you need to sit down and fully understand where they are in their relationship with the person, the person that they co-parent. Why are they not together, especially if this is a child that is under 6 months of age? It does happen, and you can find yourself in that situation. So you kind of need to get your emotions intact and have that discussion within you. If that was to happen, would you be able to date a man or woman who's freshly out of a relationship and has a young infant within, you know, that age range of under 6 months? That's different than dating someone who has a 12-year-old, right? Or a teenager. So these are the things you need to address, especially in these days and times, because it's going to be more common that you might find yourself in that situation. Or you could be the person. That could be you, Sag, where you just broke up with someone that you had a kid with. Does that mean you're not entitled to love? Of course not. Everyone deserves love. So these are the things, you know, I think some of you might struggle with. If you are the Sag that just broke up with someone and you have a newborn or a child that's under a year old, you know, the disappointment of, first of all, of now being by yourself, but also the setback you think that might make in your potential to attract the lover. You have to, you know, sell your strengths and sell who you are as a person. And anyone that loves you has to. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. They have to love the child that you have. And you don't hide that. You are very transparent and you let them know in the beginning. If they're not with it, they're not with it. Then they're not for you. But never deny yourself from getting into a relationship or seeking love because you have a child or children. Many of you are looking at different opportunities where it comes to love. Some of you feel like where you're at, or the type of situations that you've gotten yourself into romantically, you've kind of outgrown, or you're just tired of. They don't spark your energy. They don't spark your interest. They no longer align with who you are today. Some of you have gone to or will go to physical therapy or some type of spiritual interaction with your deacon, with your priest, or some type of spiritual mentor that you speak to, in navigating through these next stages in your life as you go on to a new relationship, especially if you're a recent divorcee, or again, you just had a baby with someone and the relationship didn't work out and now you're a single mother, but yet you're still young and you want to be in love and you want to date, right? And what more better of a time to try to get connected with someone who could co-parent with you while you still feel attractive, while you still feel energetic, right? And you still have the desire to be in a relationship. Definitely with the Sun card, many of you have a lot of favor and there's a lot of possibility to the connections that you're seeking. You have a positive attitude, and I think as long as you go into your dating and searching for love and finding companionship with a positive mindset, with goals intended, and also knowing what you're looking for and what you're not looking for and standing by that, you should be fine. Things will turn around for you. Some of you, it's been a dark road, but it's not always going to be that way. In the middle of the deck, you've put a lot of hard work into your life and you've put a lot of hard work into your relationships. So, of course, you want to win. You want to finally win at love. You want things to work out the way that you fantasize and that you dreamed that they would. Let's clarify that. Yeah. For some of you, you feel like you've traveled the world, or you want to experience love outside of your comfort zone. You're willing now maybe to travel or to live somewhere else. Maybe the way how the men and women navigate and act towards their partners in different countries, maybe they respect love differently. Maybe their love language is stronger than where it is that you live, which is very possible. Maybe the culture or the environment that you grew up in, the relationships are unhealthy. They don't last. Everybody's just on recycle. So these are the things, again, as you grow and you really know what you want, you're gonna travel the world and you're gonna go out there to experience what is love like in France? What is love like in Hawaii? What is love like in India? What is love like in Dubai? Right? It's a big world out there. You're not just stuck to finding love in your little immediate community. You can start out on the internet. You can start out, virtually. But there's nothing better than just going in person and experiencing it firsthand. Not only are you experiencing the new culture in the country, but you're experiencing a new man and woman within that country who is just as willing to teach you as much as they're willing to learn from you. So I love that. The other messages we get from my singles this month is that many of you are ready. You're ready for that change. You're ready for the change in the type of guy or girl that you're attracted to or that you desire. You're ready to take on love and not play any games. You might have been passive in the past, but now you really just want to surge forward. You've been taking care of yourself and you're going to make sure that you're a priority. In some relationships, Sagittarius, you've given more than you received. And the one thing that you want to make sure moving forward is that you take care of you first. Some of you have some suitors in suspense. There are some relationships or potential partners that some of you could, know that if you called them today, they would come running, but that's not what you want. That person might not be who you want, but you have them, you entertain them in the back of your mind. So I do feel that even though some of you don't necessarily have a partner per se, doesn't mean that you don't have love interests. You do, but you have them on hold. You're not ready to make a commitment to them, or you're waiting to see if someone else that you're truly attracted to, that truly kind of fits what you're looking for, comes forth. Again, you're pausing and observing. The old you, for many of you, would rush into relationships. You go piggyback, right? That domino effect. You don't take a break between your relationships. But with growth, with development and wisdom, you now take a break. You take a break to learn the lesson, to heal, right? To do the things that you like to do, right? To have some free time to grow. And then you start slowly getting your feet back in again. But you know what you want and you know what you don't want. And that is the best thing. And being able to put a pause and say, hey, let me look at this situation further. Let me observe this person further. Let me see if I clearly understand who this person is and if this is a person that I want to co-partner with or become engaged with. Many of you are looking, you see how she's looking in this kitchen cabinet, the Six of Cups? Many of you are reflecting as you are single and you're dating or you're not dating, whatever the case may be for each of you. You do reflect about your past lovers. You reflect about the past transgressions and the past communications and the past time that we've spent with people. And you're trying to weed it all out so that you can make like a picture of what, not your perfect, but what your suitable partner would be. If you could take a little bit from this relationship and a little bit from that relationship, you know what I mean? The pros and cons of each one, and then put that all together and say, okay, this is what I want. This is what works for me. Because you already know what doesn't work for you, right? From your past relationships. So you're kind of like going through the photo album and just your mental memories of people. And, yeah, I like, you know what? I loved Danny's eyes, but I loved Mark's wit. Or I liked Susan's beauty, but I preferred Diana's charisma. And this is how you weed out, and as you grow, some of the things that used to be attracted to you or you used to attract physically, you might not have the same dominance in your life right now. Whereas you went for beauty before, now you're going maybe for beauty and brains or just brains. So this is why it's good to kind of sometimes just go back in your dating history and reflect on the relationships that you had, remember what worked, remember what did work, and kind of come up with that prototype, so to speak, of what your decent partner would look like. At least it gives you a beginning of what to work for and what to look towards. As we end with this deck, we get unexpected help. Some of you might get help when it comes to love, singles. It might be your friend, it might be a neighbor. So I do feel the energy like someone might suggest a blind date to you, or someone might say, hey, come and travel with me. I'm going on a singles trip. I'm going on a cruise, that type of thing. So you find yourself being invited last minute. And look at this at the bottom of the deck, enjoying the outcome. So yeah, I see some of you going on a trip in a warm area, and I do feel you're going to meet someone there. Whether this person is going to become your partner is something else. But definitely there is a trip where the energy is there and the excitement is there that you're going to meet different suitors. Many of you are ready for this turn in your life because changes have occurred in your life. Again, the way how you look at love, the way how some of you think about the type of relationships that you want. And maybe before you were rushing to go down to the altar, but now with all the changes that you've experienced throughout your life, and as you take inventory of what you've gone through in your life romantically, maybe that's not the priority anymore. Maybe you just want to grow old with someone, just being a companion. Where others of you want to run down the altar, or some of you just want to co-parent with someone and not necessarily get married. It's not all what it's cracked up to be. All those conventional ways of love and religion and unions are not the same. We've changed and the world has evolved, and so has relationships. The essence of love hasn't, though. So you're still going to want those same principles to work for you. Sexually, energetically, some of you feel like you've been going in circles. Your love life has just been just going round and round and round, and like a merry-go-round, and you just want it to stop. You want it to stop and just find out one person. But until then, you just feel that it's just spinning. Again, the energy of ignite, you're looking for that person who not only sparks your energy romantically, but sparks you intellectually. Here we go with the self-care, reminding you have to take care of yourself. Taking care of yourself, you do for you, but as you take care of yourself, it also benefits and attracts the lovers to you. Men and women love people who take care of themselves, that look good, that smell good, that talk eloquently, that carries themselves like a king and a queen. The course, here we go again, the ferry, the boat, the cruise ship. This is a sign of you sailing or staying the course that you're on towards love. That you're going to find love along this sea, along this shoreline. Stay the course. Some of you, you have your fantasy lover, or you're still living out a fantasy, a dream stage of what you think love is. You need to come back to reality. And then finally, gestures. The way how you carry yourself, not only the way how you look, but how you speak and how you carry yourself, singles, really can be a red flag, or it can be a beautiful red rose to the person that wants to be in your life. In the middle of this deck, we get rest. Listen to your body. You need to physically and mentally unwind. That's why you don't do the rebound relationships, because if you've just had a breakup, there's no breakup that is usually amicable, right? Most breakups, there was a lot of turmoil before then. There was harsh words. It physically drained you. You need rest from that. You need to recover. So if you just got out of a relationship and you're newly single, please take your time before you even talk about dating or bringing someone new into your life. For many of you, it could be a time to retreat, time to reflect, a lot of time of reflection. Reflection is a good thing, Sagi. Take that time to learn about yourself and love yourself and live according to your desires, but also learn what the past has taught you so it doesn't come back to things that have hurt you in the past again in the future. A lot of you need to release stress from what you've gone through. And stress is the last thing that you want to bring into a relationship. And when you do the rebound, my singles, that's what happens. Not only do you bring stress and baggage into the new relationship, but you cause stress onto this new person who really didn't see what they were walking into. Okay, we want to be transparent, but we don't want to bring stress into that transparency. Some of you could be in denial. You're still not facing the situation that a relationship that you were in is fully over, because it was your dream lover, or you just really knew that was your person. You need to work through that denial and accept it for what it is before you can move on, because you can get unhealthy addictions. You can bring on negative things into your life and think negatively, pining away for someone who no longer wants you. The last card we get is success. It's time that you shine. Success from what you do for you, and success from what you pour into your heart. Think about all the things you have acquired, all the things that you've done and you've accomplished in your life, the beautiful homes and cars and life and education and the family and friends and everything that you've gathered and experienced and shared throughout your life. Think of that success. Even if you failed at love this particular time, or maybe this has been your second or third time, you're still successful, and you can have success in love as well. You just need to remind yourself that there's good and bad in everything. There's wins and losses. It's what you do with those losses that's going to determine your future success in love. As we come to a close, I feel like a loser. Some of you feel like a loser because you compare yourself to others. You compare yourself to your friends or your family members who relationships, you feel like the odd man out. You're not a loser. We all have, things that happen in relationships. Even those friends and family members that you're idolizing their relationships, you don't think they have problems? They just might not tell you, or they might not show you. You're not a loser. You're a winner. And if you think in that negative sense of being a loser, then you have no chance at love. He or she was just a good time. I don't care about them. If that's your reality, that's fine. Say it, feel it, and then be done with it. Don't spend your new time as a single person, or if you've been single for a while, don't spend that time dwelling on the past. Again, reflect, come to terms with how you feel or don't feel about the people that you have loved, and move on. I love everything about you. Didn't I say that there are some suitors, there are some people that you've had your eye on, or vice versa, but for whatever reason, and for each Sag it's different, you had them on ice, you had them on hold. You kind of let them have one foot in the door, but you're not letting them come all the way in. And there could be various reasons. One, because you're not sure you want to commit. Two, you're afraid to commit. Or you might feel like this person could be your someone, but you're just scared. You don't want to be hurt again. But you do love everything that you're experiencing with them so far. Our second to final card is, I want to show you how much I value you. The one thing that we don't want to do is we don't want to chase away really good potential candidates. We don't want to chase away genuine suitors who love us and have some type of affection or connection with us until we kind of figure it out, right? So you should show them that you value them. You should show them that you appreciate them. Even though you're putting them on pause, let them know why you're doing so. Be in communication with them at all times. Don't ghost them, and don't give them that energy that you're just toying with their emotions and you're playing the field. Let them know straight up how you feel and what you're afraid of. They will appreciate your honesty, and they will stay the long distance with you until you both figure it out. The last card is Unblock Me. I do feel this Unblock Me is the energy of someone that some of you have blocked. Yes, it could be a past lover, but I feel it's someone that you've met fairly recent. You could have started talking, or maybe this person was trying to talk to you, but maybe they came on too strong, or maybe they were too aggressive, or they were too cocky or too rude. Whatever it was that they did or how they approached you or said to you, it turned you off. They're trying to get a message to you. If not energetically, they're sending it through a friend, or however means they can get a message to you, wanting to apologize, wanting you to unblock them. Okay? Sometimes people speak out of turn, we do too. So, again, in each situation, that's going to be your personal decision whether you want to unblock that person. Let's just close. They want me to pull more cards. Let's close with my deck. They only get away with what you let them. If you're not happy with the direction of a courtship that you're experiencing right now, you're not in a relationship, you're just courting, you're just dating, you're just talking, you're getting to know each other. Remember, if they stand you up, if they don't call you when they say they're going to call you, if they're not being a gentleman, or a modern woman where they pick up 50% of the bill, or they treat you sometimes, whatever it is, whatever you don't like negatively so far that you're peeping in this courtship that you're having, remember, they will only be able to continue to get away with it in the long term if you allow them. When people do stuff or say stuff or act in a funny way, especially in the early stages of a relationship, you've got to let them know. Sometimes people are just goofy and innocent. They just don't know what they're doing is wrong. And they won't, right? Because you're getting to know each other. Let people know. So this way, they'll stop it. And then finally we end, you will never be enough for them, greedy. Some of you might be saving yourself or hoping that someone that you had an attraction to that you couldn't get with, maybe because they were with someone else, maybe it was your high school sweetheart, you moved away, they got married, whatever the case is, this person is not the person for you. You will never be enough for them. This person has such high expectations. Even as beautiful and as talented and as well off as some of my Sagis are, most Sagis are, this person wants it all, but in such a grandstand stage that even with whatever you bring to the relationship, I don't sense the energy that this person would be faithful. So if there is someone that you're talking to or someone that you're considering trying to get with, maybe because this was a crush that you never got to fulfill, a fantasy again, right? This fantasy of someone that you wanted to be with. We all have those people that we all desired, but we never had an opportunity. And now maybe that opportunity is coming up. That's not your person. They're not your person, especially if their track record is that they're a cheater and they have their hands in different pots at different times. They're swimming in everybody's pool. They're taking a dip here and a dip there. They want whoever's going to build them and continue to build them and add to whatever they have going on. They're not a giver. And we have no problem giving, but we don't want anyone that just uses us for the purpose of giving. Okay? So I'm sorry, especially if this is a person that you really, really was attracted to. I don't care. You could stand upside down. It's never going to be enough. They're really, really greedy. And one woman or one guy is not enough for them. And you can do everything to your heart's desire to please them. You're going to be disappointed. And they're going to be disappointed every time because they already know how they are. And you kind of have an inkling too, I feel. But again, we all have these dreams and these fantasies that we want to check off our bucket list. So go ahead. If you want to try it, by all means. But just know there's a strong possibility that your heart's going to be broken. So stay away from the playboys. Stay away from the playgirls. I don't care if they're on your fantasy list, if they're on your wish list. Okay? It's not going to end well. So do what's best for you. Live in your truth. Love in your truth. And be with people who are going to be truthful to you. Let's pick one more card out the middle of this deck. We get the Axe. There are people that are working against you being hooked up with people. Could be just because they're jealous of you. They don't want to see you happy. Could be friends or family members themselves who are single. And they just want you to be single so that you could be miserable with them. It could also be an ex that is refusing to let go of you energetically and doesn't want to see you happy. So they're going to do whatever they can to trip you up or to cause havoc in your life, especially if you co-parent with children. They're going to use the child or children to sabotage your relationships. So just be careful of that energy of an ex. Well, this has been the first half of your October singles reading. Some of this or all of this may apply for you. Use it as you will. Namaste.